your face. Can I see your face?
Oh, hang on.
Or no, it's just the angle that
No,
you gotta
this is
work.
just the angle. So we okay.
Okay.
So we just started, and my name's Gardy. I have the opportunity to talk to Mia Grawe. And Mia, where are you at today? How you doing?
I'm in Houston, Texas. I'm doing good. Good Sunday. I'm resting today.
Yeah.
Sundays are always my rest days.
Yes. So how much do you train?
I train every day. I try, especially when I'm in camp, like around 3 to 4 hours, more than that sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, right now, I'm off camp. I've been doing a lot of working recently, but I'm still training every day. I'm trying to get an hour at least.
Okay. If somebody hasn't had the chance to meet you yet, what all do you compete in? And I guess how did you get started in this?
I'm a mixed martial artist. I do MMA. That's my passion. I have a lot of big goals in the MMA scene. I compete in jujitsu also. And honestly, like as of right now and moving forward in this year, I want to be ever pops up kickboxing, boxing, jujitsu, wrestling. It doesn't matter. I'm just trying to get experience.
Okay. So how,
Um, I Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask. I guess how old are you? When did you start training, and what was your first introduction to combat sports?
I am 21. I started training in February of 2019, so I was still 18. Um, I just got into it because, like, I don't know, growing up, I've got an older brother that I would always like rough around with, and like I've always kind of been a rougher person. I've been scrappy, so I got into it more so just for fun and fitness. I started at like this family MMA gym. It's not even in business anymore. And I started jujitsu, kickboxing, and I shortly, like, I realized I fell in love with it. And then from there, yeah, I was like, man, let's do this.
Were people surprised, like your friends, or did they always know that this is something that you wanted to do, or being into fitness, I guess in general, or was it a surprise?
It was spontaneous. Like around my senior year, just got really into it suddenly, and I told my friends, my family, like, yo, I want to be an MMA fighter. Like this is gonna happen. And everyone was just like, okay, that's cool. But to see like that point to where I'm at now, it is kind of crazy. My friends are like, whoa, like
So where do you train at now, and how did you get hooked up there?
I am at Ward Training Center. I've been there for a while now, a little bit over 2 years now. I had heard about them through like a few of like my coaches that I was working with beforehand, and I knew some people from like high school and like mutual friends. Most Karan Reed, I knew he was at War Training Center, and at the time that I was getting started, he was like on a roll in his amateur career. So I was like, yo, like, how's War? Should I go by? Should I check it out? And I did. I ended up going over there and found my home.
Yeah. And so now you're I mean you're training there every day. I follow War Training Center, and I follow you on social media as well. And so I'll see all the different posts, and there's big groups, and there's all different kinds of people. There's a lot of ladies that train there. There's guys. There's pros. I guess what's the culture like there for you?
The culture is amazing. We're all, especially like the MMA team, we all work really hard. There's no egos. Like when we're training, we're trying to get better and we're giving each other like the best looks and the best advice. And we're all really talented. There's a bunch of people on my team that are like very highly skilled in different things. We have high level everything and we can absorb that information. Yeah, a bunch of hard workers, a bunch of dogs. I
Mm-hmm.
love it.
Yeah, that's why I talked to Josh Altsum and Hayden the other day, and that's how Josh described it. He was like, "It's just a bunch of dogs," and I was trying to be like, well, "What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Like, so what does that
Yeah,
mean? Just like being scrappy, I guess, just like willing to get into a
I
fight."
think I think we're very big on just like mindset, like being able to stick in a fight no matter how chaotic it gets, being able to really like drown your opponent, and being able to stick in the battle. We train really hard. Like our expectations are very high and we keep them there. We hold a high standard because we want our team to be the best we could be.
Yeah, because it's not normal to get in a fight every day or train for that. So the average person won't have that mindset. If they get in a situation, they'll potentially break down. So I guess when y'all train, are y'all training for that? I guess like the deep waters, like the fifth round, the championship
Mm-hmm.
matches.
Oh yeah, yeah. We train hard for sure. I think I mean a regular like Saturday practice, we're all going 10 rounds nonstop, you know, like we prepare for absolutely anything. Our coaches make sure we go to deep waters, you
Hmm.
know.
Yes. Okay. So when it comes to MMA, you've had some fights. How many fights have you had? How have they gone?
I've had 4 fights so far in MMA and they've all gone pretty well, very successfully. One finish, two unanimous decisions, and one loss.
Yeah. How can I mean? Can you really be prepared for that? You know, going in, you know, all your friends and family and all that. What's it like dealing? Is there any kind of adrenaline dump, or do you get more used to it?
I've definitely been comfortable over time. I've always like before fights tried to really regulate my emotions because it is a pretty intense thing to experience. There's definitely a lot of adrenaline, especially like when that cage door finally closes and you know the ref's like, fighter, are you ready? It's like, yep, I'm here, it's time, you know, you just gotta, it's a crazy moment. But I'm getting more and more used to it. For my last fight I felt very comfortable.
You know, I had the chance to talk to Coach Copley, and he was saying that they're looking for a fight. So you're going to be making your debut for Fury, hopefully pretty soon. What's going on with the situation? It's a title match.
Yeah, I'm really not sure. That was supposed to happen. I had one set up for February, which fell through. And then their date changed to January 30th, and then my opponent pulled out, and then they asked a bunch of girls. No one agreed to fight me, so you know that's coming up, but I'm not fighting on that card. And then there was another one. There's just been we've been keeping in touch with a lot of promotions and different dates, and it's just been really difficult to find me an opponent. But there's something coming up in the air. There's possibly a matchup that I might get in March, later in March. I don't want to say too much about it just yet, but keeping my fingers crossed. Hopefully this like gets locked in and I can squabble again.
Yeah. Will that be for Fury for that the strawweight title?
No, it's actually going to be international. I think maybe Mexico.
Wow. Okay. That's
Yeah.
awesome. You know, have you done a lot of international traveling?
No, not much. I've only ever been to Colombia because I'm Colombian, but that's about it.
Did you watch the movie Encanto?
No,
Okay,
what's
it's
that?
based in Colombia. I have 3 kids, and it's on Disney Plus and playing all the time. So it,
Oh, Encanto. Yeah, I've
yeah,
heard of it. I haven't watched it yet.
yeah, it takes place in Colombia. I have some friends that actually work with that are Colombian as well. So that's cool. You know, is MMA big back there in Colombia?
Mm, no, not really.
So
Yeah, I wouldn't know much about it. I've only visited once.
okay, I got you. Cool, cool. Okay, so hopefully there's a fight coming up international in Mexico, and I did see because I had posted on social media that you were going to be talking to me today, and then Albert with Submissions on the Shore had said, "Hey, she's competing coming up on our card." So what do you have going on?
March 19th, I should be competing at Suns on the Shore. I can't discuss my opponent for whatever reason, not sure why. But yeah, it'll be a 125 blue belt super fight. I'm pretty excited for that. I love a good jujitsu match. Jujitsu's fun.
You know, you can't say their name, but is it someone that you're familiar with, or maybe that you've like cross trained with before?
No, no, I never heard her name before. So
Okay.
it should be interesting. I like to go into things that I'm not really sure I'm gonna have to feel her out. It's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah. Okay. So that's going to be in Texas City at the Booker T World Gym Arena. I'm excited because we're going to be there and we're supposed to be helping with the live stream for the event. So I'm stoked. I like stuff because so we're based out of Lamarck, and anything on this side of town, I love it because I don't have to drive far and I can go. So I'm excited. Okay. So ideally, what does the rest of this year look like for you?
Ideally, I want to fight championship fight, get a belt around my waist, two even maybe. I want a few more fights. I want like two more amateur fights, and then I'm looking to go pro this year, make my professional debut. And yeah, we'll see how it goes from there. I'm just gonna stay busy. I just want to keep competing and keep evolving and keep getting bigger, better.
Would you approach a championship fight the same way that you've approached your previous fights, or is there going to be anything different?
I mean, not really. I train. I always prepare for the best fighter I could possibly be matching up with. Like when I'm in camp, I have an opponent, but I'm like envisioning like I gotta fight like Valentina Shevchenko or Rose Namajunas. Like I'm training hard. So no, I don't think much will change. Just continue to grind and evolve.
Yeah, speaking of those two fighters, do you look up to them, or are there any other fighters that you kind of like mold your game after?
Those two are definitely some killers. They're two of my favorite fighters. Yeah, I look up to Rose Namajunas. She's a talented fighter. I pick up a lot from her. I study her. I study a bunch of fighters. Brandon Moreno was looking amazing last night, by the way. I was looking at his movement and I'm like, yes, I want to be like that.
Yeah, and that got fight of the night, but he didn't get the decision. Do you agree with the decision that was made?
No, I was shocked. I thought it was going to be unanimous Moreno.
Yeah, I like him. I'm a fan just because he's like into Legos, and they presented him with that Lego championship belt, like the UFC title
Yeah.
belt and stuff. It's just
Yeah,
cool.
he's a cool guy, very genuine.
Yeah, and it's just the different personalities, and whenever you think of a fighter, like sometimes you think of like a typical person, right? And that's not necessarily it. But there's so many different people from walks of life now that are
Hmm.
competing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, is there anything else that you'd like to share that we haven't touched on or that we need to talk about?
Um, no, just living life. I'm working, training. Possibly IBJJF in February in New Orleans, and yeah, it's been it's been slow for me recently. Last year I was like back to back fighting, and now it's like sudden breaks, and it's a bit unusual. I'm like, man, like I want an opponent. I want to be in camp. I want to be getting ready for a fight. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just staying ready and waiting for somebody to step up to the plate.
Awesome. How can people like keep in like follow you on social media, or if someone wants to reach out for whatever reason, how can they get a hold of you?
All my social media platforms are my name, Mia Grawe, Miagrawe. I constantly update any fight news on there, like training, what I'm doing with my team, things like that.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, maybe we'll have to do another interview before submissions on the shore when it gets closer and your opponent's announced, and we can uh, promote that again if you're open to it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Maybe in person. Lamarque is not that far.
Yeah.
Like 45-minute drive, 50-minute drive.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Cool.
thank you so much for making time. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me on the show.
This is KHEA Radio and Clear Life Combat.